Hello, and welcome to Moscato and Tea. This is the show for all things beauty, business, and community with your hosts, Inez and Chiquita, keeping it raw, real, and unfiltered.
And we are back with more hot topics. Since you ain't found it yet, we'll go continue with some other crazy news, because you're on your phone. But just briefly, they posted about how the young lady, the young lady that
was that
Jamie,
the Moscato already hitting you?
I know, it's Moscato. It's been a while since I've had Moscato, so it's kind of technically your fault.
Oh, for real? That's my fault?
So I blame you. But no, the 13-year-old young girl, they found her, and they arrested a 21-year-old. And
so you might want to tell people who don't know, because some people don't live in California.
I know. Basically, there was this 13-year-old girl. Her name was Jamie Klaus, and this young guy or whatever killed her parents back in October and kidnapped her. And she was 13 years old, and they found her today. So thank God. They say she was well and everything like that. She's back with some of her family, but unfortunately, they say she was targeted. The young man targeted her.
Was he
he was 21 years old.
I know. Was
and
he from the neighborhood? What was it?
They didn't say. They didn't go into too much details. It was on the news and stuff like that. You know how they get with stuff. They don't want to give too much just because it's an ongoing case. But at least she was found alive and stuff. So that's some good, some good news we can see finally, because it's been some horror stories, which kind of goes into that 7-year-old girl that was killed, Jasmine Barnes.
Yeah, that
was so sad,
devastating.
Oh my God, it's just crazy.
So, speaking on that, so now let's get your opinion on this. They said it was a white man who shot at them.
That's what the mom said,
and the daughter said that's who she saw. Mm-hmm. Now they're saying that wasn't. It was a black man. Mm-hmm. So now the mom is like, "No, I know what I saw, but it's a whole different situation now. Like, how are they really going to investigate? Do they have proof? Like, what's really going on? Was it two guys in a car?
Because they say it was like the gun was found at the guy's house. The guy that they arrested, they say the gun was found at his house.
But how did it get to him?
Exactly.
That's my question.
Yeah.
Because there was no composite of a black man.
Exactly. And she said it was a pickup truck, but then the guy was supposedly fighting with somebody else, and he had an SUV. So it's like all this happening. I'm just like, is this a distraction? What's really going on? Who is telling the truth?
Now, that's what I was like, okay, so now what? So where does this leave everything? Because it was a big deal, because it was, a white man who shot and killed this 7-year-old black girl, and she was with her family. And it was now uproar. It was an uproar. So now, what's
the truth?
Yeah, what is it? What's the real truth now?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's one of those wait and see, and he's charged with capital murder. So, and they're talking about, of course, he's in gangs and stuff like that. So we got to keep watching.
We'll keep watching and paying attention and see what's going on.
Yeah. Who knows? But it's just crazy. Which kind of also, I know I always bring the craziness, but I know you heard about the shooting at Torrance at the bowling alley.
In Torrance?
Yeah.
In the bowling, yes.
Already.
Yeah, in the new year.
It's only been 11 days.
I think it was, I guess it was some beef. It was like a fight broke out, and then they were shooting. It wasn't just like somebody randomly going in. It happened to hit a bunch of, not that it was random, like, like a mass shooting or anything. I was just.
But why is it we got to go to a level 10 off the bat if you have an argument or a fight with somebody?
Because people aren't taught how to deal with their emotions and everything. We as I said, nowadays, kids and young people don't know how to deal. There was no, I hate to say this, but there was no real discipline. There is really no, your mom, your dad, a lot of broken homes, a lot of kids and people searching for something, and they have a lot of pent-up anger. So I think it goes from 0 to 100 real quick. Real quick. And then afterwards, they don't realize until afterwards, the aftermath, the effects that it does at all. So, young people a lot of times, even older people, like, you know, the stresses, the things that are going on. So people are just going 0 to 100 like really quick and not even just. It's actually pretty sad, and it's scary that, you know, you get, you know, a fit, you know.
Yeah, I've seen.
You know, people are out of control. I mean,
even over parking space, people are killing
crazy.
each other.
Yeah, you know, not to be like the other day I went to go get gas. You know, and it's evident. You see me standing, waiting in line to go get gas, but I had backed up a little bit because the lady who was in front of me getting her gas was trying to back out, but she was going to go forward, but somebody parked in front of her, backed out. So I backed up. Why did this car decide to cut me off and go in front?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't having it.
What you do?
I pulled up next, honked, and was like, she got the hint, pulled back, and let me through. I go, but this is the shit I'm talking about. This is how, if I was not out of control.
Yeah.
I just honked the horn, looked at her like, you must be out of your damn mind.
Yeah.
She got the hint and pulled back. But what if she didn't get the hint? Were we just going to throw down and have a boxing match because she was disrespectful? You know, the entitlement. Well, I'm going to. I don't care, bitch. You in a BMW, I'm in a Honda. I don't care. I will, you know, that's what I'm saying. That's where people, like I said, people's emotions get the best of them. You know, it's a turn another cheek. But could you imagine if you've been having a hard day and it's days and days and days and you don't know, and somebody just says something, pop you off. And like I said, everybody who has a gun, all of a sudden they're a cowboy.
That's true.
And I'm even more powerful. I'll go grab my gun and start killing people and not realizing the ramifications of it all.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's seriously crazy. All we can do, just throw out some positive vibes to everybody, you know, seriously. But let's kind of change it up, get into some entertainment.
Hey, okay. Entertainment. I don't know if you want to go into the entertainment.
Oh, my God.
Surviving R. Kelly.
I was trying to say that for close to the last.
Okay, well,
but
we'll come back.
Start,
we'll come back.
No, let's start off with that because we want to kind of end off on some positiveness.
Yes.
You know, so go ahead. What you got to say?
Girl.
I didn't watch all of it. I just saw a couple clips. It was just too much, honestly, for me. So I didn't watch all of it. Me and my brother, we were texting back and forth like the entire day.
All I can say is, damn. Like, here's the thing about it. It's like everybody knew, but didn't want to know and put a cover on it.
Yeah.
And everybody knew. But, you know, like they had said, you know, they had made a very good point on it. If you haven't seen the docuseries, you need to see the docuseries and make your own opinions about this. But the reality, you know, here, there's a couple of things.
Okay. One,
we already knew this was an issue and a problem way back when with Aaliyah.
Yeah.
Everybody already knew, but everybody kind of put a blind eye to that. Okay. Then we already knew there was a problem with the whole video. The set scan and the pink girl.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you watch the video?
No, I didn't see the video.
I never saw the video.
Because I don't, you know.
I knew about it, but I never saw it.
Everybody knew about it. And being, Dave Chappelle did the greatest. Sorry, it's not funny, but it is funny. Dave Chappelle did, when he had the Chappelle show, did this clip on R. Kelly talking about that, but it like peeing on women. Yeah. And then he peed and he they said he also boo-booed on women. It was the funniest skit ever, but it's not funny.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's how I really, I was like, yo, that's what I was like, yo, did R. Kelly really whatever. So the fact of the matter, they've been talking about this. The fact of the matter, the reason it's becoming a big deal now, I think they were saying it was because of the Me Too movement. Yeah. And I think a lot of these women felt they had the right after Bill Cosby. And Harvey Weinstein, all of this stuff, that they're like, okay, I can speak and I can talk. My problem and issue is this. What we had said, would it have gone on so long if these were white girls and not young black women? That's where my issue is.
And where are all these Me Too leaders at?
There was one in the documentary, the one who started it, because here's what people don't really understand, and I don't think they know about the Me Too movement. The Me Too movement was not started by Alyssa Milano and all of these, I hate to say this, white women who got onto this.
Yeah.
It was actually started by a black woman, and I need to get better at remembering names because
It's like Taryn?
I suck at names.
Like
but anyways, she started the hashtag Me Too to help women of color that had been raped, victimized, and all of these things, assaulted, and saying, hey, me too, it happened to me, and we are valid, and we are human beings, and you need to acknowledge us like you do non-women of color.
Exactly.
Okay? So when Alyssa came through and everything, everybody's like, oh, hashtag. She had to kind of come back and
go
say,
on TV and say it was actually
started by somebody else.
Yeah.
And I just took that hashtag and kind of did my thing. So she was on there, and she was throughout this whole documentary talking about how women of color are bypassed.
Yes.
And how not believed. How Sony, I think he is signed to Sony, and the record companies and the labels knew about this. But didn't do anything about it because he was making money for them.
Yep.
They're talking about how these little girls, like he is actually, when you listen to the women, this is where they say, oh, they're lying. Well, all of these women's stories are similar. There's just a little different of a twist because he might have not done this to you, but he might have done it to me. But all of them are very, very similar. And all of them, that's what I'm saying. If you're going to believe the chicks that are talking about Harvey Weinstein, you're going to believe the ladies who accused Bill Cosby, who's doing time, and the only mofo out of the whole group that's doing time.
Exactly.
Then you need to believe these young women. And quit trying to make the victims the problem. The problem is there's a pedophile and a pervert out there making money and doing his thing, okay? And people are like, oh, well, they're just money-hungry people. They're money-hungry hoes. Hello? I don't think people really realize until it happens to their mama, their sister. Yeah. You might have not even known because your mom, your sister, your niece might not ever tell. And there was a great, somebody had posted on Instagram a meme, and it said, your daughters, your sisters, your mothers are all watching how you react to the R. Kelly ordeal, and then depending on how you react is why they don't tell you why they tell you things, because they're like, if they're not going to believe these girls that are accusing R. Kelly, why would they believe me?
And we know in the black community how it is,
girl, that everybody's treating him like, you got that creepy uncle that everybody kind of goes, oh,
everybody knows, but no one really wants,
and they like, stay away from your uncle,
exactly,
that creepy uncle, that creepy cousin, everybody's like, make sure you're not alone with them. Well, what are they going to do about it now? How are they, these are all women, his ex-wife. Yeah. They want to say, well, why couldn't they get out? Until you're in that situation, you have no idea. Yep. You have no idea what it's like. You don't know what you're going to do. You don't, if somebody's brainwashing you, that's why I always said, they're like, oh, she's a fast, she was young and fast. She's no, he's the grown ass adult. Yep. He's an adult who likes little girls. Yep. It's not about a little girl trying to be, yes, he's an artist. Yes, he's a celebrity. Sure. There's plenty of guys out there, but are they all going around entertaining these little 12, 13, 14-year-old girls? And you're a grown-ass man? But now you're going to blame the little girl and say it's her fault? Yeah. And these parents are like, well, if I was a parent, listen, we don't know. I don't want to judge a parent. Yeah. We don't want to know, what he was saying to these little girls. One girl, she disappeared. Like, I was like, oh my God, you watch your kid as much as possible. Yeah. You're with them, but, a lot of times they do shit they were going to do. I remember being a kid sneaking down and doing them. Don't go see that. You do it.
You think they're going to class or going to school, but you never know.
I mean, unless you're attached to them at the hip 24/7. Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. I'm like, I was never a big fan of his anyways. Anytime, I mean, this is how disrespectful this man is. Disrespectful. It's his birthday. He's out in the club in Chicago.
Yes, I heard about that.
It was on Instagram, every day posting video.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's my birthday. I'm here to party. I don't give a fuck. I was like, are you out of your damn mind? But then this is to show you he's been doing it for over 20, 30 years, never been touched. So why would the fuck he think that anything would happen now? So now what are people going to do now?
I know that the Georgia or Chicago Attorney General is filing charges or trying to file charges to look into it and stuff like that. And they want, people to come forward and stuff. So hopefully, something can happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bigger, they're like, well, Harvey Weinstein, this. I said, listen, I don't give a shit about that. They all of them together. All of them. We got to quit trying to say, well, he's a black man.
Yeah.
We got to realize, and as in the black community, shame on us. Shame on us for not protecting our young women, and shame on us for not allowing a celebrity to do these kinds of things, and us not taking heed and saying, no, this is not happening.
Yeah.
We rather listen to a pervert's music.
And his streams and music sales have skyrocketed.
Yeah, they said they skyrocketed. Why? Because people are curious about, what are you curious about? He even wrote a song, I admit, talking about it.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
The documentary, his brother is talking about, this is what killed me, and this is where I had it. I was like, I'm done. He's like, well, our likes young girls, I like older girls. I was like, and we're done. And we're done. I was like, are you literally saying, your brother likes young chicks?
That's crazy.
I mean, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. They're talking about they're going to do other ones, whatever. They're talking about they're doing one for Michael Jackson. They're talking about
Sundance, a film or something.
Yeah, they're doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, but what are we doing about this now?
Exactly.
And what are we doing to help these women that are now these young girls that are now women to heal and be...
They're talking about sex trafficking. That's what he's been doing.
Yeah, girl.
That's crazy.
Young black girls. Slaves. Like, sitting there. Like, I was like, what the hell? This is 2019.
Yeah.
Well, now it's 2019.
Yeah.
That happened,
I know. I don't know. It's too much. But on kind of a different note, the young lady, Centoya Brown, they're finally letting her go on probation. So, that's a good thing.
That was another thing.
So praise,
praise it. Like they finally, because I think it was just too much heat on the government.
To the governor of Tennessee.
The governor,
gave her clemency.
To let that poor young girl sit in jail. She was being sex trafficked, abused, all of this stuff. And she was like, dude, I was fighting for my life. Yeah. And you're gonna give the pimp.
She was in there for 14 years in jail for killing the guy, who tried to rape her.
Yeah, it was a John. Yeah, I think it was a John. Yeah. Some old. She was like what, 15? 14 years old.
Like 14.
And some 30-something-year-old man. But you're gonna charge her as an adult.
Yeah. But then in the same note, it's like these guys, and we talked about this on here, this guy at the college that raped the girl that was unconscious, and the judge let him out after 6 months because it's going to mess up his life. It's called
white privilege. I'm sorry to say this, but it's the damn truth. If it was a little white girl who done the same thing, oh, poor thing, poor baby, we need to let her. No, that's what I'm saying. What goes on with women and what goes on with men and what happens with black women, what happens with white women are two completely different things. People they want to say, no, it's equal. No, it's not equal. At the end of there's two things that I think people don't realize when it comes to women and women of color. One, there's a strike against us because we're women already. All women. All women already, regardless, they look at us as sex objects, beings, whatever. It is what it is. But then now we have a second strike against us. We're a woman of color. Okay, but again, this goes way back to slavery. This goes way back into the times, and that mentality still sticks today. Even though as women, we're like, yo, we're more than that. Yeah. We're more than this. We're more than that. You just can't do whatever you want to do. But as long as we keep, here's my thing. As long as we keep fighting and reporting it and putting it out there, eventually something has to happen. If the more quiet, who was it? Future and his dumbass was talking about, well, why are we talking about it? Then it'll go away.
Yeah, he was on some
we
radio
don't want it to go away. We want to keep it in the forefront. We want something to happen, and we want to acknowledge that women of color need to be protected just as much as any other woman.
That's true.
It is what it is. Women in general, we need to protect each other. Women in general need to do better for each other. You know, it's like you see, I mean, it's all over the internet too. Like I remember like it was like, at some kind of sporting event. A white guy was yelling at a white girl, and it was in her face. You know,
I think I saw that.
Yeah, a black lady came in and pushed it and said, no, you don't do that. You don't talk to her like that. But there's the same thing now with the just recent at the McDonald's. That
guy was looking for a straw, and he grabbed that black girl.
He grabbed her and pulled her over.
The audacity to
just sit there and touch her, pull her over the counter. She's 5. They said find out she was 4'11", and she whooped his ass.
Yeah, her mom put her in, or brother put her in boxing class. I'm gonna take some boxing
classes.
Girl,
I'm about to be like, we're all gonna have to do some major self-defense up in these mofos, because there was another girl too. She was an MMA fighter, I think. It's an MMA fighter. I forgot her name, but anyway, some guy tried to rob her.
Oh, I heard about that.
And she whooped his ass. Yeah, like you see the face of the guy. He was like literally. I was like, oh, she whooped his ass. Whoopi was on The View talking about, I'm glad that little girl, she goes, I don't condone violence, but I'm glad she whooped his ass. Oh, yeah. Let motherfuckers think again before you put your hands on. But here's even the worst part. She was there and none of the men helped her. Yeah, none of the men. They just was like.
They just stood there.
The manager sat there and
gave him a refund, or about to give him a refund. I'm like, really?
But then there's another. See, that's why internet. But I'll make this short and quick. But there was another one. There's this guy going around to fast food chains and talking about his boyfriend came in and bought a meal there, and that one of the girls, whatever her name is, he looks at her name tag, put her name on the receipt, and he's there to check her, to tell her not to give her that he got a man. So he went into, it's crazy, girl. So he went in, and this one chick at a fast food restaurant defended the poor girl, the cashier, because she had no idea. She said, no, first of all, you come here and say good morning. Yeah. And we ain't you ain't here to check nobody.
I think I saw that
you
one.
Either take
I think I saw that one.
That's what you need to do. She was like, we ain't having this today. You ain't going to attack my worker. You ain't going to do this. You're going to get out of here. Yeah. But the guy's doing it as to, because he did another one, and some other dude pushed him out the way and said, you talking too much. Can I get my mashed potatoes with gravy? Yeah. So he was on a KFC. But the whole point is, what are we doing to better and protect ourselves? Because it's apparent nobody else.
Nobody else go do it.
Nobody else is going to do it. So, as a matter of fact, we need to look into that. See if we can get a group of women and us all get together and start taking self-defense classes.
That's a good idea.
And doing that, and start defending ourselves, because at the end of the day, people are getting bolder and bolder.
Yeah, that's true. That is so true.
So we hit like 7 subjects in one thing. I'm just saying.
That's true. We got it. Let me tell you. Well, let's get into some more entertainment, before we go out. What do you think, Kevin Hart, Oscars? What do you think about people, because tweets that you had 10 years ago, 5 years ago, coming back now? What do you think about all that?
Okay. This is where I say the internet will come back and haunt your ass. No matter, you could be young and dumb. That's why you have to be careful of what you do. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. If you're going to put out dumb shit when you're 20, I hope you've grown from when you're 20 to when you're 30 or when you're 40. Yeah. Right? Kevin said he already apologized for those tweets, and he made it very clear, and he said, I'm a different person than I was back then. I recognize my wrongs. I righted my wrongs. I'm not going to keep apologizing for something that I've already done. And I agree with that. Yeah. Okay? Now, if he would have been tweeted and still have the same mentality that he did 10 years ago, then he deserves everything he gets. Because that's showing people you haven't grown. You are still stuck in your ways. You're not trying to mature and realize things. So I think they were way too hard on him for some shit that he regrets that he did when he was young. He recognizes it. He apologized. Keep it pushing.
Yeah, because in the same breath, you're okay with everything Trump says.
Here we go. We always got to bring it back to that.
It's true. But they're okay with everything Trump says, and they let him get away with everything. But they want to talk about
again, who is Trump and who is Kevin Hart? Yeah. We're talking about a little black man. Just saying. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the same scenario over and over again. He was on Ellen. Him and Ellen talked about it.
Yeah, she thinks he should do it.
Yeah, Ellen's like, don't let these bullies get you out.
Yeah.
I think you should do it. Don't let the academy, whatever she's pulling for him. He was on GMA.
Oh, yeah.
He talked about it, said, I'm done talking about this. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Yes, it was a great opportunity, but let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100 about this Oscar show.
Yeah.
Really? I'm just saying, really?
Yeah.
Really? We already know what the Oscars are about.
We're going to have to hold that for another episode.
I'm just saying. That's all I'm going to say is really, we already know what the Oscars are about. Bam.
On that note, we go in Hot Topics with that. Because we're going to do another show in the future, and we're going to talk about all that good stuff.
Okay, we'll talk about it. We'll see what happens with the Oscars and who hosts and what happens.
Yes. Big time. Yeah. But once again, it was a pleasure, lady, catching up with you.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah, it was.
I'm already sweating. It was my upper lip is sweating from all of it being a lot.
You've been, shading, scalping people, so
girl,
that's what happens.
I'm like, woo! It's real. So, but yeah. Yes. So, we're excited. This is season 4 for us. We're excited. We're going to do some more different things.
Yes.
We're, as we grow, things will change and come and go, but we'll still be the core of who we are and what we're about. I think every episode will end our episodes with a feel good, positive vibe.
Yes.
So with this episode, I'm just going to say to you all, it's 2019. Look at yourself, figure out what you're going to do to better yourself and how you're going to put an impact in this world today. And, hopefully, our impact and our voice is a little bit here by doing this podcast, by talking with y'all. Yes, we have fun and games. Yes, we talk about seriousness stuff too, but I hope we're impacting you in some way or another positively, bringing you good vibes, a little laugh, a little fun in a time, and bringing you education, bringing you things that you want. So again, we can't tell you thank you. We can't tell you how much we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for listening to us, following us.
Yes.
Please, we would love for you guys to interact more with us. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want. Let us know how we can, help you in 2019 enjoy our show more with everything that's going on. We just, I'm going to just always send out some love, peace, and positivity to everybody, and recognize that we're all humans. Like I always say, we're all humans. We bleed one color when we bleed. We all have the same organs. We all have the same everything. We're all just different. We're all different. Can you imagine if we were all the same? We'd be all damn boring.
Big time.
Okay. So that's my piece. So thank you again for listening. Chiquita, what you got to say?
That was an Oscar speech.
Okay, girl, I'm ready.
No, I just want to thank everybody for listening. And I mean, we're in our 4th season and we got so much more to talk about. And I appreciate everybody. And I can't wait to do even more. So thanks for listening.
Thanks. And you know where to follow us. We're still on the same, same channel.
Yes.
Same time. Same day.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Take a little time to enjoy your brand of Moscato and Tea with us every day. Subscribe, rate, and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and MoscatoandTea.com.